right, y'all. I wanted to come and do a quick vlog. I'm about to start cooking. I hope y'all having a good Halloween. I know my Halloween has been excellent so far. Excellent. Shout out to everybody in my group. Shout out to all of my clients, and then also big ups to all of my loved ones. But I wanted to come on here, and I felt like it was in my heart to come on here and talk about this: predators, gang stalkers, bad people online using you homeschooling your child as and trying to use it as justification to stalk and harass you. I'm not going to get into details of the next level thirst that I've dealt with the past 12 years. Like I'm talking about the smear campaigns. We're not gonna get into all of that because that's that. But I'm gonna say this first of all. Today is Old Hallows Eve, and we ending it. These people are done that have been doing this to me. They done so. But I wanted to come and speak to any homeschooling mother. And I'm going to post this in some of the groups that I belong to on Facebook as well as other homeschool forums. Be careful posting that online. Okay. It's not just about people that make assumptions. Okay. It's about predators on the internet. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of backstory. I began homeschooling my three older children because they were being bullied in school. Not just being bullied, but violent attacks on my children, right? Which is what really makes this a huge oxymoron. I took my kids, my three oldest kids, out of school because of the violence. The violence that is escalated to next level violence. It's literally like an epidemic of violence and murders, school shootings. 13 years ago, I could see all of that coming. As a mother myself, unless you were in one of the best neighborhoods, like, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I was in not, I don't, when we moved to Lawrence, Kansas, the schools were pretty decent there. However, I was already being stalked at that point, and the stalkers began to harass the principal of a very nice school that my kids was going to. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull them out and go ahead and homeschool them. And then it got better because I spoke to the school board about it, had several meetings about it. In fact, when my three oldest kids was in school, I was always very much involved, very active within the schools, very active. And so you have to be careful when you're doing something like that, especially if you have, haters and maybe some people that are really overzealous in your family that may hate you or be jealous of you. I know that a lot of the people in my family have been supportive and understanding. Okay. Um, However, there was a problem, but I'm not worried about that. The oxymoron about it is that I decided to take my kids out of school, my three oldest kids, because of the violence in the schools. Guess what it got met with? Threats of violence and harassment and stalking. Isn't that wonderful? Welcome to America, where we got to deal with a bunch of mind controlled zombies. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it started last night. One of the well-known stalkers of my son, he's been stalking my son since he was a baby. It's suspected that this dude is gay. Nothing wrong with being gay, but it's also suspected that this dude is a pedophile, which I believe that he is. He's a predator. Okay. And being a child predator doesn't have to be somebody being a pedophile. It can just be somebody that hates children. I've actually seen these people and witnessed these people come online and admit that they hated children, and that's why they were stalking me. So this is something I've been dealing with for 10 years, and I still look good, still very healthy. My son is still very healthy, and my family is thriving. Okay. Y'all need to be careful because, see, for me, I am an exception to a lot of things. And I'm not saying that more mothers out there can't be strong as I was and still am. Um, we were targeted with DFACS, CPS, of course, in particular when we were in Georgia. I was subjected to over 80 investigations that included these people calling in claiming that I was physically abusing my son. Now, keep in mind, I've never, ever, ever physically abused any child. I actually wanted to be a mother from the time I was 11 years old. I knew I was going to be a mother. I don't abuse children, right? But my son was subjected to body searches. Not one time was there ever even a scratch on my son. This happened for 8 years. I don't beat children. But you know what the funny oxymoron part about it was that these very same people that kept filing these false reports against me came online talking about how their mother beat them. Isn't that funny? So basically, what it looked like to me is that even though looked like they were trying to destiny swap with my son never was abused. They were. I don't even spank my son. My son doesn't even get whoopings. Okay. Feel like it's these confused adults wanted to send their hurt and pain to my son. Needless to say, I protect him and the rest of my children and family. But it's just the point that they're doing it. It's just the point that they're still doing it. For example, last night, and it's very creepy. It's very creepy. This guy apparently held on to an old video that is probably still up on my channel to where I was teaching my son how to read. This is how you can tell they're a narcissist. This is why a narcissistic person can't be a teacher. This is the reason why I'm a mother. This is the reason why I'm a good mother. If I'm teaching my child anything, would I get frustrated and say they don't know it? Duh, that's the reason why you're teaching it so that they will know it. That's the that's the point in teaching them is so that they will know it. So basically these grown 50-year-old men have been going around the internet claiming that my son cannot read. Why would I sit around and allow my 12-year-old son to not know how to read or write? But see, this is the predatory behavior. Of course, my son can read. My son, in my humble opinion, is more intelligent than these 50-year-old adults. He's an exceptional student. Homeschooling, especially if it doesn't involve any abuse in the home, right? Homeschooling can actually be an amazing thing for kids. I wish that I was homeschooled. I wish my mother would have done it. My mother didn't abuse me. Neither did my father. I mean, I got a couple of spankings, but when I think back, I feel like I deserve the spankings that I got because I was being disrespectful to my father. Okay, in all fairness. But I don't believe in, I don't believe in corporal punishment. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? It's so bizarre. And so during the time that I was going through all of this, especially over in Georgia, of course, my child was never, it was all unsubstantiated, All of it was unsubstantiated, the entire reports that they were making. This entire time, at the same time, these predators would go online, threaten my child, bully him, try to harass him. In the meantime, they're making all these claims while giving me evidence against them. All of this, it ended up being submitted to the police. I have filed over 60 police reports against this group of gang stalkers. Recently, when I contacted YouTube, I told them again, why have you not banned these particular people from your website? Why? So again, this 50 something year old man who does not know, nor will he ever know my son, trying to pretend like me and him have a personal relationship too. That's what's really creepy about it, because I don't have a personal relationship with this dude. It's very funny how many people from that group will trick and fool people into talking to them. This is what they do. This is what they do. We all know their MO. We all know their MO. I don't even have to go through that. 50 years old claiming that my son cannot read. My son is in the seventh grade. He actually could have been in the eighth grade, but I wanted him to review his studies from last year since we went through what we went through in Georgia. He's actually at an eighth grade level. He's in the seventh grade. He is above the level for his grade. They don't want to hear that. You know what they want to do? They want to stalk somebody predatorily. Be careful online if you're a homeschooler. We all know why many parents these days homeschool their kids, and it's to keep them safe. I just saw a video of a woman that got arrested. Well, they ended up taking her to the hospital because she was tweaking out real bad. She went to the school, did drugs at the school during lunch, and was tweaking out. Okay. Not just that, the abundance of violence and drugs and just craziness in the schools, and then also a homeschooling environment, to me is better. It's better to me, especially when they're younger. Okay. And so it's gaslighting, you know. And for me, what I have always been able to do for years, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up and down, because these people would be mentally ill online all day every day, making video after video after video after live stream. It was a few times where they were thinking about their childhood abuse, and they would end up what wait a minute, y'all. Give me a second. Okay. Where's my little emoji? There we go. All right, hold on. All right. Day after day after day, they were online. Literally, I would be sitting him down doing his studies with him. DFACS would be knocking at the door. I would literally have him sitting there doing his work. So they were blatantly trying to disrupt his homeschool environment and attacking him in his home. I'm gonna tell you something. When it comes to bad people, the one thing that they seem to have to learn at some point is Sorry about that, y'all. Testing test. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I was outside doing a herb burn, and my phone went dead. So I'm back in the house. I'm about to get ready to put this ham in the oven, and I'm also gonna do another cabbage boil. I got to tell y'all about that. That's good. But anyway, you may be just now coming across my channel. I'm not sure. So let me stick to the subject. One thing about bad people is that they think that just because they lie about something or make something up, um, that's gonna justify it. But really, I'm gonna tell you something. I think that what's happening is karma is playing out in these people's lives in ways that they're not going to admit to. Because anytime you decide that you're going to try to uproot a child, attack an entire family of people because you want YouTube clout, you have got to be one of the worst people imaginable, because it was all done to chase my clout. I used to come on here and do homeschool vlogs. I stopped doing that because, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not. In fact, I don't even show my child on camera. I haven't had my son on camera because guess what? The same group of people, guess what they did? Somebody from their group, guess what they did? They took still shots, screenshots of a perfectly innocent video and photoshopped porn, a pornographic picture of me and my son. The same people from the same group. I personally think it's a shame that any mother would have to come online and be subjected to people like this. I think that when pedophiles do things like this, I think that it should be prosecuted within the law. Some of us don't think about things like that. We don't think about things like that. We haven't experienced things like that. It just puts a bad taste in your mouth, when you're having to hear or speak about the things that are going on in the mind of an abnormal person that constantly thinks about. And so everybody on the internet knows what these people are about. I think that they believe that people are fooled by them. People are not fooled by you. People have watched and observed this group of people, the way they start acting up, especially around the holidays. Now, it's funny how this dude starts targeting my son on what's considered to be a children's holiday, too. Keep that in note. But it's really weird how they think it's like what they present to people is a complete non-reality, because anybody with half a brain can see what these people are up to, which is why I've gotten nothing but support and love from the community, nothing but love and support from DFACs. They were pretty amazing in dealing with the situation. And, because of course, I keep protection because there was never going to be any mistakes. There was never going to be any mistakes ever. And see, that was the whole thing about it, is that people like that, because like I said, I don't think all of them are pedophiles. I think that some of the child predators, they just would love to see a child taken out of a home that where he's loved. That's why every single time they would call DFACs, I would let DFACs know. I would sit down and talk to them. They know who I am, and I'll be like, wait a minute. First of all, let me just tell you something. These My children are loved. They're loved and they're treated well. And it's really sad. It's really sad. Not for us, it's sad for these people, because at the end of the day, they can try to use the fact that I'm a witch and that I practice witchcraft as some kind of negative. But you know what? Witches have been mothers throughout history. Witches have been very good mothers throughout history. There's a lot of mothers that are witches. So they tried to use that as well, my spiritual beliefs. Well, No, it's just that, and for years they wanted me to respond to this malarkey, to people saying disgusting things about children. They kept saying that I need to respond to them amicably. No, I'm still a human being. I'm not going to sit up here. So, for years, when I would literally come online and curse these people up and down, and I'm still going to do it. And if somebody has a judgment for me for that, well, then you must be a predator apologist or a pedophile apologist or something. You know what I'm saying? Because they would love for me to be judged by their behavior. That's another thing about mentally ill people and narcissists. They would love for the people that they're targeting to be judged for their behavior, right? Be careful if you homeschool your babies and you do it for their safety. I commend you for that. I've been working home. Just by the way, one of the reasons why I've always been able to work from home, or homeschool, is because I work from home. And so these people are like, well, don't work from home. First of all, you don't have no control over me. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that they tried to use spirituality. I think that they tried to do spells. I think they tried to do domination work. And hun, yo, Don, child, let me tell you something. It literally was so freaking disgusting, the behavior of these people. It's something that we don't even think about. Like, I wanted to come and discuss it because I just wanted to let mothers and fathers that may homeschool to just be careful. Homeschooling is actually more common than you think. It's very, very common for people to homeschool their children, especially since Sandy Hook. You know what I mean? I remember when I first took my oldest children out of school. By the way, I have a 25-year-old. My oldest is 25. I have a 22-year-old, a 20, no, I have a 23-year-old, 22-year-old, and a 12-year-old. When I first took my three oldest out of school, it was because they were literally being chased home and terrorized. I didn't like that. There are some parents that don't accept that. I have the right as a parent to choose that. Hey, Stefan. Happy Halloween to you too, sweetie. Yeah, I got a bunch of cooking to do, so I'm not going to be here long. I'm also making, so this is what's on the menu tonight, you guys, and I might record a video. I'm not sure. We're going to do baked ham for Halloween with a cabbage boil. Oh my God. If y'all have not had the viral cabbage boil, try it. It is so good. In fact, let me start this dishwasher because I ain't started it yet. If y'all have not done the viral cabbage boil, I will never make cabbage another way. I will always make cabbage this way because I already love fried cabbage, right? Or either boiled cabbage, but mainly fried. Of course, fried is better. That cabbage boil is like, it's utterly delicious. It's utterly delicious. Okay. It is. And so I'm making that. I'm making cornbread and green beans. And then for dessert, we're having red velvet cake and I'm making some Rice Krispie treats. So that's what we're having. Yeah. What y'all eating for dinner, Sevon? Jacob didn't want to dress up this year. And I had cause my grandbaby, I forget what she said that my grandbaby was gonna be. I forget what she said what costume she got for my grandson. um but Jacob didn't want to dress up this year. And I meant, hey Trinity, hey or girl, you pregnant? Trinity getting ready to have a baby. I saw that earlier. What is going on with that girl? I think you look so pregnant Anyway, but let me finish what I was saying. My daughter, both Jacob and my daughter are Pisces, and she was like, Mom, he's just going through puberty. He's going through his phase where he thinks that dressing up is not cool. I was like, ah, oh. But and he didn't want to go trick or treating either. So, but we'll have plenty of sweets and stuff. Oh, chicken tender. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, be careful though. Y'all be careful bringing your kids online at all. I see these beautiful families with their kids and stuff. I always put them on my list of protected ones. The ones that I see. We gotta do something about these people that are harassing and stalking people and their children. But guess what? Do y'all remember the scandal with the father of five? Y'all remember the father of five, how he literally was abusing his children on camera? Notice how they never said anything to him. And I'm very, very, very serious. I can't stand child abusers. I actually, well, I'm still an advocate for children and women, but my issue started with being stalked by advocating for women and children. Isn't that funny? And trust me, you know what? I am just the sweetest pie, very loving person, but you know what? I will break you. I will break a stalker. I don't know why these stalkers want to continue to mess with me. And so today, I'm not going to do any big elaborate ritual on these people. I don't have to, it's already done. But on Old Hallows Eve, these people got to go. I'm sick and tired of a grown man that I have strong suspicions is a pedophile and into little boys talking about my kid while wearing a Kansas City hat and not ever being from Kansas City, but stalking me for years. I can promise you, as a womb man, it don't matter. He can have 50 women. He thinks that he got something on me because he's got a woman. Oh, honey, let me tell you something. I am not only a mother, but I am a whole trip. And this dude thinks he can try me. He thinks he can try me. Especially I done went over there and got some of my grandma's graveyard dirt. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. And I get, obviously I get my mothering skills from my grandmother, who was one of the, like, my grandmother was just an amazing person. Oh my God. I grew up loved. I grew up loved. Didn't none of my uncles ever do nothing to me. None of my aunties ever did anything to me. Nobody in my family ever did anything to me compared to what I've heard about with these people. They need to take their trauma and go deal with it. You're not going to deal with your trauma. They were literally trying to transfer all of their trauma to Jacob. So y'all got to be careful when it comes to gang stalking, especially, and being targeted. That's exactly what those people want to do. And I think that they thought that they were going to drive me crazy or something, or they was going to make me upset. I'm not the type of person to get upset and take my anger out on anybody. I know how to direct my anger very sharply. Because I remember when they had one of their fake men come online and try to diss me, and they called defects right after. I ain't never been the type of woman that would get mad at my children over a man. That's what they mother did. See what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, y'all. My kids are all well adjusted. You don't see them online stalking nobody. They're just living their lives. They have their own families. You know. Right now, my son Ty is looking for a job. We're getting settled back home. These grown people want to harass us and stalk us from the internet. And it's ridiculous. And they go very far to get your attention. and it's typically through the holidays. Well, I can tell you one thing, hon. You ain't got no power over me. They tried to take what they could, trying to claim that just because I talk about them, that meant that they had the ultimate power. No, if I'm talking about you, you need to be concerned. Again, like I said, it has been a whole trip, and all these people have done has wore themselves out. They were there. They wanted what they were doing for some reason. I think they wanted it to tear me down. But every time I get on camera, they can see that I don't look like because honey, you think I don't know how to deal with energy? You think I don't know how to deal with that? You think I don't know how to protect myself and my loved ones from bad energy? You know what I mean? Looks like to me some of these people need to move on with their life. And one of them tries to pretend that he tried to pretend that he had a thing for me for years, but he actually doesn't. I believe the dude is a pedo, okay? Not even gonna lie. And I think he has a thing for my son, which is why I took down all pictures of my kids from the internet. You can't put pictures of your kids on the internet. Can't do it. It's sad because pedos are out there looking for your kids. This dude is angry because he can't have access to my kids. Funny how they target women with children while claiming that they hate single mothers. If I were a single mother and I were single and raising my children or just getting out of a relationship, I would never hook up with a man that's online degrading and dogging single mothers. Duh. What do you think he's going to do to you? You think that this is a catch? This is a person with some serious deep seated issues because they were trying to be in like a dating pool with me. I'm like, I'm not in a dating pool with you people. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I will curse you and your whole family. If anybody want to step in front of step up and say something, do something about your family member. Watch your people. Do something about your people. I think a lot of people expected me to just be docile, and that was the whole thing about black women is that we're supposed to just be docile and nice. I'm not going to be docile and nice to you when you're stalking, trying to degrade me and attacking me. I'm not going to be nice and docile to you. Are you kidding me? So all of these black men in this black manosphere, they were trying to make it seem like, oh, the black woman is so difficult or whatever. You damn right I'm difficult. That's just like I was saying years ago on it. Some of y'all probably remember this, my stance on it. I never forget this video of this woman, this man just literally broke in her house and was just beating her down. Child, I've been done shape shifted into a wolf. You try to come up in my house and put your hands on me. I've been done shape shifted into a wolf and tore your ass up. I ain't trying to look pretty. When it's time to be ugly, it's time to get ugly. I would have picked up something and busted that man upside his head. You can't be docile when you're dealing with and dancing with wolves. And a lot of them out here are wolves in sheep's clothing. A lot of them want women to be, they want you, like, okay, if it's a man that treats you well, that you can trust, yeah, you can let your guard down with your family, you know what I'm saying? But to a stranger who's stalking and harassing you, I'm supposed to be docile with you? No. What we gonna end up in is a duo to where they gonna be dragging your ass up out of my house on a stretcher. So am I lying? Is it just me? See, that's a part of the gaslighting. And I'm only 5 foot 4 inches tall. Not that I would ever attract that energy to me. I don't attract, I would never do that. In fact, I've got protection from things of that nature happening. But I have heard and seen some pretty scary stories about home invasions. I always have some kind of home protection. But I would literally tear somebody apart if they tried to invade my home. And that's spiritually too. You try to invade my home, I'm gonna destroy your spirits. Some of these people got these evil, bad ancestors. They do. Some people do. Well, your ancestors try to come in my house, they not gonna be an ancestor no more. They not gonna exist no more. Cause what are you attacking me for anyway? So you gotta spiritually protect your kids, really. You gotta spiritually protect them, and just don't even post online. Don't even do it. It's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. Now, these people, it was literally like a setup years ago. They don't want to let it go because, if somebody's able to go to a group of people and ask them to attack you, of course, people like that would already have to be capable of doing something like that. So, we're not going to necessarily. I don't know how deep the involvement goes as far as like this one person that was involved with these people. I don't attract people like that to me. These people think that, and you know what? But I will beat you down. I don't know why these people keep trying me. I will destroy. I will destroy. I will destroy you. You come after my kids, or if I see you bothering any child, I'm very protective over these babies. If I see you attacking any child, you gonna get it. You gonna get it, baby. You need to understand what I'm saying and take heed to what I'm saying. I will destroy you. I will destroy child predators. I will destroy you. First of all, you attacking a child, you weak any damn way, but it doesn't matter. A child is going to be weaker than a damn predator, so children of course need protection. But see, people like that got mental illnesses. They probably still see themselves as a child. And see, that's one of the reasons why I just like, you know, a lot of people when it comes to school, they'll say, well, it's good for their socialization. Mm, I don't agree with that either, because some of these children that are in these schools clearly have a horrific home life. So I'm sorry to say that. I have had several incidences where, I've and it was just way too much. Way too much. So I don't necessarily in particular want my child to be socializing with folk like that. At least when you're homeschooled, you get a choice. That like homeschooling provides you a choice of who you want your child to socialize with, and it's nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm not saying that nobody ever has any problems, and no, what I am saying is that you don't know those people. You don't know those children that you're sending your kid to school with. You don't really know those people. And so that's what a lot of parents that homeschool think about. You don't know those people. These kids in the school killing each other. When we first got down to Georgia in 2015, we had moved to Decatur. I had just moved into a duplex down in Decatur, Georgia. I was considering putting Ty in the high school down there. That the literally the next day that we moved in, the very same school I was supposed to be sending him to, somebody got killed at that school. I said, nope, not doing it. Literally that same day, you can look it up. It would have been probably around what, August of 2015. I lived in Decatur, Georgia. I'm about to sit up there and send my kid to go through that, dodging bullets at school. No. So then the bad, the evil wants to try to follow you in your home. Well, guess what? Guess what? I know how to stand my ground in my home. And I ain't gotta have no gun. I ain't never in my life owned no gun. You ain't gonna come nowhere near my home with none of that mess, especially after 2023. I don't believe it's God's work or the workings of God for people to be killed. That ain't the working of God. I don't believe in that at all. At all. So you try to come around me to do something to me to end me and my loved one's life, and you ain't gonna make it, baby. You not gonna make it. You not gonna make it, and you better be careful. And I done protected all of the innocents because some people are just murderous by nature. They just want to murder people. You know, if you're a person that's defending yourself, and then who wants to get involved with that? I ain't never wanted to get involved with no altercation with nobody. That's so stupid. Then you got to go to court. You got to explain. I don't look for trouble. That's the type of person I am. I don't look for trouble. I don't want to fight you because if I fight you, I'm end up kicking the if I fight somebody that's after me or my children or my loved one or even somebody that I care about, I've been went to jail. I don't want the inconvenience because I've been beat you down. I don't want no inconvenience of going to jail. Who wants the inconvenience of going to jail? Don't nobody want that. That's just crazy. So why would I do that? People want a peaceful and tranquil and serene life. Don't nobody want hell in their life. And a lot of people sit up here and assume that if you practice in witchcraft, well, I practice my Native American traditional values. And they had certain rituals and stuff that they did to protect their home and their reservations. What they got to do with what they what they got to do with what they talking about? With you understand what I'm saying? You have to protect your heart. Because don't nobody need all that stress in their life. Don't let the stress get to you. That's the one thing about it. I ain't never let these people stress me. And they've actually doxed me and swatted me before as well. Really, to be honest with you, that group of people, I'm gonna tell them straight up and down because I know they listening. Y'all need to get out, get offline. Cause I'm gonna have them all lined up in prison. They gonna all be in prison. They gonna all be in prison. They do too much, way too much. We all know who I'm talking about. They need to all be in jail where they belong. They want people to be terrorized by them. They want people to be scared of them. Ain't nobody scared of you. Nobody's scared. Nobody has fear of you. And I don't know what's up with people that do stuff like that. This is the reason why we can't have nice things because of people doing stuff like that. And then trying to make it seem like I'm the problem because they're stalking me. No, you're the problem. You're the problem, and you're Sorry about that. Yeah, and then the one thing that they missing is that I'm under the protection of Saint Michael. I am one of his people. Saint Michael. Okay? And he don't play it about me. That's where I don't know. I've been meaning to find out why or where the connection with Saint Michael originated from. But I am one of his protected ones. And so are my children. And Saint Raphael too, but Saint Michael mainly hovers over me constantly and my babies. And he got an army. And he's the one that directs me a lot spiritually. Is Saint Michael. Okay? A lot of the stuff that I know, a lot of the stuff that I do is because Saint Michael. So I don't know what to tell these folk. But anyway, y'all, on a happy note, happy Halloween to you guys. Protect your babies. Hug them and kiss them for Jamila, because y'all know that I love y'all babies. Okay? And I'm getting ready to do something because I just want to get some of it's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna start cooking because I want to get dinner done early. So let me see if this I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get dinner started. I think I might bake this cake right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the cake done and get the Rice Krispie treats done. Is what I'm gonna do now, and then I'll start on the other food because it literally takes 2 hours to make the cabbage boil, but oh my god, it is worth it. Oh my god, if y'all have not done that cabbage boil, and make sure that you do the melted butter, because it's inspired by like a seafood boil. It's supposed to be like that. And y'all know I can't eat seafood because I am very allergic to it. Um, but it's inspired by that. So you have to melt like your 2 things of butter. Gotta melt your butter, put your seasonings in your butter, and you pour that over that. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender and good. Y'all got to try it. It's good. And it's real easy to make too. I think the most difficulty that I had was where you have to poke holes like on the sides of the cabbage. Like the cabbage when it's raw like that, it doesn't want to give. Like it just kind of like it's kind of hard to pull the knife out when you're poking your knife wedges in it, because you have to poke through it. Um, and you just have to be careful with that, and try to use a really sharp knife because these dull knives will mess you up. If a knife is not sharp enough, it'll mess you up, especially if you're doing something like that. So just make sure that you can effectively, because you have to like you have to cut those slits in it. So I might make a video. I don't know. I've been wanting to do a kitchen witching channel. I've been wanting to do that over on the Witch's Broom channel. I don't know. I might, but I just when I get to cooking and then because plus I be cooking and I be on the phone with people at the same time. So that's why I haven't really had time because typically when I'm cooking, I'm always on the phone with somebody lately. So you know. Anyway, love you guys. Be careful out there. These predators and pedophiles are on, and they are not stronger than you. Anybody that needs to hear that today, these people that bully people and harass people and they're real predatorial and stuff like that, they are not stronger than you. Even if you are a mother, you have everything that you need inside of you to protect your babies. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all another time. Have a happy Halloween. I got pumpkins to carve too. I'm running behind, but when it comes to Halloween, like it's not over. Like I don't feel pressure to get everything done because I typically celebrate Halloween up until about mid-November, until at least Thanksgiving. I don't even really I celebrate Thanksgiving, but not really, you know. So Even if I get the pumpkins carved tomorrow, that'll still be cool. So yeah. All right, y'all. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.